SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we are going to be testing the Wi-Fi on the newest Samsung Galaxy S24. This is not the Ultra. This is just a regular Samsung Galaxy S24, but it doesn't matter because the S24 Ultra that has the new Wi-Fi 7 standard, I don't have a Wi-Fi 7 router, so I don't have that access. So anyways, we're just going to be testing with the standard Wi-Fi frequency bands. The SMT HQR that you guys see listed that both devices are connected to is the 2.4 gigahertz. Why anybody would want to connect to those things, I have no idea. I think our surveillance system runs on it, but outside of that, everything is basically set up on like the 5 gigahertz and the 6 gigahertz frequencies. So these two phones, on the right, you have the Samsung Galaxy S22, so it's a couple years old. Brand new Samsung Galaxy S24, right? Cutting edge tech. Let's see the Wi-Fi differences between the two, all right? And we're just going to take a look at the performance, and the way you measure performance is by quality of connection. We'll see how the radios, how they differ between the two iterations, right? 2 years is a long time. Maybe the Wi-Fi performances are different on them. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's start first as a baseline, the Samsung Galaxy S22 to the right. So we'll take the 24 and we'll get it out of here. All right, let's go ahead and open up the Ookla speed test app. Again, we are on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency. All right, so this is going to be my least favorite Wi-Fi band. It was cool back in the day, but things have evolved. All right, and we are connected to the SMT HQ, which runs and is powered by AT&T Fiber. All right, so you got 8 ping, you got 1 jitter. All right, loaded latencies are at 108 and 852 respectively, 188 on the downlink, 108 on the uplink. I always recommend doing, another test. Always do a second one so you can get that consistent result. Make sure that it is, it is what it is, as they say. All right, so just to confirm, I am still on SMT HQR, the 2.4 gigahertz. I'll show you guys what the other one is once we get there. All right, so 7 ping, 120, 7 ping, 1 jitter, 124 on the loaded latency, 908 on the upload loaded latency, 189 for the downstream, 101 on the upstream. All right, so that's the older phone, right? Samsung Galaxy S22, and now we have the S24, and we are connected to the same connection, SMT HQR. All right, let's go ahead and run the test, see if there's any difference on that particular band. Don't worry, we're going to get to the 6 gigahertz frequencies and the 5 gigahertz frequencies in short order. I just want to see if there's any difference in the Wi-Fi radios. You never know, there might be. All right, so we got an 8 ping, we got a 2 jitter, we got a download loaded latency of about 71 milliseconds, 63 milliseconds, and the upload latency is much higher for whatever reason. All right, 181 down, 186 up. So comparing the two, it looks like we do have a slight discrepancy in the uplink. The downlink is basically identical. You can't really distinguish them to any substantial level, but we do have a difference there with the uplink. Let's go ahead and run one more test on the S24 and see if we can either kind of confirm that that is indeed the case, or maybe it was just a one-off. We'll see. But we did run a couple of tests on the S22, so we feel confident with the uplink being around 100 megabits for that one. And I'm going to show you guys where the router is, and it's really, really close. It's just on the other side of this room. All right, so we got 160 down on this one. We're in like the 144, 150 range. Again, to compare the two, I would say that especially with the uplink, you got a better connection on the S24. Let's go ahead and move these phones, right? Let's go ahead and put them into a higher frequency where there's more bandwidth and the speed should be faster. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these phones into SMT HQS. Okay, so this connection is going to be faster, right? It's a higher frequency. There's more bandwidth. More devices can fit onto these channels. So we are expecting more throughput. I do have the 1 gig symmetrical AT&T fiber plan, right? So let's go ahead and first, the benchmark being the S22. Remember, a 2-year-old phone, things can change in a couple years in performance. All right, ping time at 9, jitter at 31. Loaded latency coming in around 70. Downlink speed of 520 meg. Uplink speed looks to be pretty similar, 531 meg on the uplink. All right, so 520 by 531, you can see there's a lot more bandwidth on that channel, right? So let's go ahead and run another test. Got to confirm it, right? All right, and looks like we're going to be pretty similar. This one maybe slightly slower, but still plenty good. I can't tell you guys, man. It's incredible having fiber. All right, 465 on the downstream and 483 on the up. 7 ping, 31 jitter. Loaded pings at 79 and 241. All right, let's put the Samsung Galaxy S22 to the side. All right, we are connected to the SMT HQS. All right, same connection. Let's see how it performs relative to the Samsung Galaxy S22. Same connection, same frequency band, same bandwidth. It's just a different Wi-Fi radio, right? Newer gear shows us different performance. All right, and we do have a steep improvement. 8 ping, 25 loaded ping, 152 for the upload loaded ping, and a 28 jitter, 727 on the downlink, 823 on the uplink. A lot faster than the S22. Let's run our second test. Let's confirm that that is indeed the connection. Why the hell are my pings so high? AT&T, what are you doing? Or maybe it's the server, who knows? All right, this test a little bit slower, just a little bit. But you're definitely seeing more throughput comparing the older phone and the newer phone. All right, so 702 down and 756 on the up. Night and day difference, guys. We're talking about speeds that are, 60, 70, 80% faster, right? That is a substantial upgrade, and that's not even all that's left. So I want to kind of explain why it's worth it to upgrade your phones, more frequently than you would think. So here's what I want to mention. My router, the Lambo, the Asus ROG Rapture AXE 1100 or whatever that thing's called, it's got a Wi-Fi 6E connection. But the Samsung Galaxy S22 doesn't have that connection, right? It doesn't have that capability. So I'm stuck on that frequency and band, the SMT HQS. Right, so in this situation, I can't connect with the S22 to this last network I want to show you guys, or this network segment. If you go to the connections here, so we tested the SMT HQR, right? And then we also connected the SMT HQS. But we have another band that we can test, which is Wi-Fi 6E. And you will see that it is identified. So this one did have Wi-Fi 6, the S22, but this one not only has Wi-Fi 6, but it also has Wi-Fi 6E. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the phone to the network, and then we can test it. All right, folks, we are connected now to the Wi-Fi 6E SMT HQSS, strictly reserved for phones that have the hardware enabled to do this. And the router is actually just on the other side of this room, so we have line of sight to it. Let's see how it performs. I have been using Wi-Fi 6E on my Google Pixel 7 Pro, so I have already accessed the connection, and it is absolutely incredible. But you really, in order to enjoy these kind of speeds, you have to be in the same room, right? Once I go to another room, the performance degrades a little bit, right? The signal kind of degrades a little bit. If I go upstairs to the second level, I might still be clinging on to it. I might not be, right? And then it just moves me to a higher quality connection on the SMT HQS anyway. All right, so 891 on the down, 939 on the up. Ping time at 8, jitter at 1, loaded pings at downlink 16, and the uplink 102. So really, really fast, right? Compare that to the Wi-Fi 6 test, and it's like night and day difference. You get even more throughput, right? It looks like about maybe a 20% or so speed increase. More capacity because there's more bandwidth on those channels, right? So this is pretty impressive stuff here. Almost cracked the 900 megabit downlink. We're at 899. The uplink did crack the 900 megabits per second. 7 ping, 1 jitter, and then loaded pings at 37 and 114 respectively. All right, guys, what we're going to do is we are going to go to the main level. We are currently in the lower level. Let's test these phones from range. Let's take the show to the main level, and then we'll test the top floor. To do the second part of testing, I just want to mention this. SMT HQSS, the Wi-Fi 6E, is still connected on the S24. Obviously, we didn't have that same connection available and enabled on this phone due to hardware restrictions, the S22. And actually, let me switch these just for the sake of consistency and continuity. All right, so, there is that limitation there, but it is good to see that we went up the level. All right, so now we got a whole degree of separation, and we're still connected to the SS connection. So that, right, we saw the speeds for the lower level where we were in the same room. Here's the performance from the second level, the main level, and you'll see that the signal is not very good, and it really does degrade the performance connecting to the SS connection, SMTHQSS. It's at this point where I think it's actually probably wise to switch the connection, right? Maybe an auto switch feature. You can see I'm barely clinging on, right? I'm barely hanging on to that Wi-Fi 6E connection right there. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'll kind of zoom in for you guys there. Yeah, I think you guys can see it, Wi-Fi 6E. Right, it is connecting, but it is weak, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and switch. We're gonna go from the Wi-Fi 6E, and we're gonna switch over to the Wi-Fi 6, and we're gonna go from the SMTHQSS, we're gonna switch over to the SMTHQS, and we can match up with the S22, which is on the same connection. You guys will see that there. Okay, so let's check out the Samsung Galaxy S22 first, and then we'll come back to the S24. All right, and we are cooking. Let's go. All right, so we got 8 ping on the unloaded, 101 and 369 for the loaded pings, 1 jitter, 416 down, and 335 on the up. Always, as always, run a second test just in case. All right, so we'll go ahead and just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. All right, 8 ping, 31 jitter, 76 for the download latency, 452 meg on the down, 348 on the up. Okay, so that's the Samsung Galaxy S22. Let's tuck that away. Let's get back to this S24 and see what type of performance we get on the Wi-Fi 6 on this brand new device. See if it's better, worse, or the same with the S22. All right, so as a comparison, right, pictured there. All right, so we got 7 ping, we got 3 jitter. Loaded pings at 25 for the download, 304 for the upload, 570 down, 418 up, right? So right off the rip, you're getting more uplink, you're getting faster speeds on the downlink as well. Let's go ahead and run our second test. All right, 8 ping, 1 jitter. I think this test should probably come out the same. I don't think it's going to be any different. All right, we cracked the 500 mark. So 508 on the downlink. And then for the uplink, remember we got our S22 here so we can compare. Came in at 306. So actually this particular test, the S22 was faster for whatever reason. Possibly an anomaly. So they're both on SMTHQR. Go ahead and run it. All right, we got a 9 ping, we got a 2 jitter, download latencies, where are we? 80s, 59 it ended up at. All right, 127 for downlink, and we're around 80 for the uplink. One more test on the Galaxy S22. Looks to be pretty similar. All right, so 8 ping, 1 jitter. Got about 129, 131. Some little extra speed at the end there. All right, 137 megabits for downlink. And uplink, we're in the 80s now. 81. Yep, we're going to end up around 80 megabits, 79. That's the Samsung Galaxy S22. Remember, this is the SMTHQR. Let's go ahead and run it on the Samsung Galaxy S24. All right, 150 down and about 112, 115. All right, 118 uplink, right? So there's your comparison. S24 on the left, S22 on the right. We've got faster speeds for downlink and notably faster speeds for uplink. One more test. Got to do it official. All right, so ping at 7, jitter at 2. Loaded latencies, we'll see what we get there. Downlink looks good. Right about 144 megabits, 145-ish. And then for upstream, the uplink really made a difference on the newer phone. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe it's just the quality of the signal. All right, 126 megs on the up. There's your comparison between the two. 144 by 126 on the S24, 137 by 79 on the S22. All right, time to take it upstairs to the upper level where, you know, we're going to be furthest away from the router and we can really see what we're connecting to there and the quality of the signal and the speeds that way. Let's go. All right, nation, last phase of the testing. Samsung Galaxy S23 on the left, S24 on the left, Samsung Galaxy S22 on the right. We are connected to the SMT HQR connection, the 2.4 gigahertz. We're going to start there, right? And let's start with the Samsung Galaxy S22, the older phone. We are as far away from the router as possible. Not only is it in the lower level, and we are 2 floors away from it, but we are also on the opposite side of the house. So we are as far away as you could be without actually getting out of the house. All right, so Samsung Galaxy S22 first test. We got 87 down, we got 51 up, ping at 13, jitter at 7. Let's go ahead and run a second test before we do the S24. All right, 8 ping, 1 jitter, 106 on the downlink, and we're going to be in like the 50s or 60s here on the uplink. 60 meg on the uplink, so 106 by 60. Put that off to the side. SMT HQR, same connection. All right, let's run it. All right, we got 8 ping, we got 1 jitter. And then the downlink, we're going to be in the 120s. Cracked 130. All right, so 131 megabits. While the uplink is substantially higher than the S22. The uplink's in the 80s, 87 megabit, right? All right, so there's your difference, right? The S22 at 106 and 60, the S24 at 131 and 87.5. Let's run our second test on the S24. All right, so we got a 14 ping, we got a 40 jitter. Those aren't great. But it does indeed look like we got a Wi-Fi upgrade. A lot can change in a couple years, right, folks? Get a hardware improvement. All right, 118 for the downlink. Looks like we're going to be in the 70s, possibly 80s for the uplink. Nope, 76.2. All right, so there it is, folks. There is your difference. 108 down, 76 up for the S24, 106 down, 60 on the up for the S22. There is definitely a noticeable and substantial upgrade by getting a new phone. You've got 2 years separating these phones, and in those 2 years, you've got tangible, meaningful, significant upgrades to Wi-Fi performance. The only thing I think that's really left to do is to see if maybe the SMT HQS yields us a different result, right? So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, let's see if we even connect, right? I think that's important. And actually, that's probably a good metric, right? The signal quality looks the same by the bars, right? They both have like 3 bars or whatever. Anyways, let's get both phones on the S connection, right? Wi-Fi 6 and SMT HQS, SMT HQS. Let's start with the Samsung Galaxy S22, shall we? The older phone. All right, and we are getting a notably faster connection by switching over from the 2.4 gigahertz, right? Definitely is faster. All right, so 314 on the down, and we're somewhere around 190 on the up. 7 ping, 1 jitter. All right, so that's the S22's first test. Let's check out the second test. Let's do one more. Back in the 300s. 345 megabits. 346. 7 ping, 1 jitter. And we're going to be around 170 megabits for uplink. All right, so that's the Galaxy S22. Here's the S24. Right, and we are connected SMTHQS. All right, so what did we get previously? 346 and 170 on the S22. Let's see what the S24 does for us. Never know. Never know. That's why you got to do the testing. All right, doesn't look to be too much different. See if maybe there's a difference in the uplink. All right, so 7 ping, 2 jitter, 342 on the downlink, 216 on the uplink. Comparison, right? Downlink's about the same, but we got more available capacity on the uplink. 216 on the S24, 170 on the S22. Let's run our second test on the S24. I wonder if we can pick up the SS connection, the Wi-Fi 6E. Okay, this test noticeably faster. This one kind of showing what the phone can do in the Wi-Fi performance. All right, 7 ping, 1 jitter, 426 for the downlink. Oh, wow, really fast. 280 on the uplink. All right, so Samsung Galaxy S24 to the left, Samsung Galaxy S22 to the right. Really big difference there. 426 by 280 versus 346 by 170. And we know that we don't have Wi-Fi 6E on the S22, but can we even pick up the Wi-Fi 6E on the S24? All right, so we were able to get the S connection. We were able to get the R connection. And you guys could see some of my neighbors. One's got the T-Mobile home internet. One's got a Verizon home internet. Some people still got Cox. That's crazy. All right, we don't. Here's one with AT&T fiber. Here's a few more with AT&T fiber. Those other ones are custom, obviously. Who knows, right? But yeah, we're not picking up the Wi-Fi 6E. Too high of a frequency. Anyways, there it is, guys. That is your testing between 2 years of technology advancements between the S24 and the S22. Obviously, there is a performance difference. What do I recommend? After a couple years, should you upgrade your phone? Absolutely. There are cellular modem upgrades. There are Wi-Fi radio upgrades. There are antenna upgrades. There are display upgrades, battery upgrades, features, camera upgrades. 2 years is a great time to upgrade a device. Maybe not every year, but I think every 2 years is good. And if you're tight for money, you don't have to upgrade every 2 years. You saw the throughput on the 2-year-old phone was just fine, right? There was never going to be a moment where it wasn't good enough. But if you got to be on the cutting edge, you can get a new phone every year and get some small incremental upgrades. Or upgrade every 2. That's a little bit more comfortable for you. Definitely upgrade after 3 years. So much can improve in devices in 3 years. And of course, older phones, once they get to that 2-3 year mark, they start to degrade in performance too, right? They're just machines. They're just, they're made of parts and components, and they fail, and they, all those things. Anyways, those are my findings. That's my anecdotal testing. Any of you guys upgrading from the S22 series to an S24, or from a 23 to a 24, or maybe you're on a 21 or a 20, time to upgrade maybe? Now you guys got to see some performance differences. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below on the testing, what your experiences are like. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on this. And we out this piece. Peace.